Hello, and welcome to another season of The Edge. My name is Gabby Tom. PTHS offers many clubs and activities. This year, Peters Township is starting a new program called Younglife. It is targeted for high school students to get involved in a group outside of school. Joining me today is Mr. Michael Fischer, the Peters Township Younglife Director. Hello, Michael.
Hey, Gabby, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Yep. So my first question is, what exactly is Younglife?
Yeah, so in a short story, Younglife is an international organization that works with adolescents. So adolescence works from the end of middle school kids all the way up through college. Younglife in Peters Township is mainly focusing on high school students, though.
So why do you feel it's necessary that Peters Township needs Younglife?
I think what Younglife does is they give high school students a purpose. They allow high school kids to be high school kids. I think today in society, high school kids are forced to be adults really quickly, and there's tons of pressures with school, with sports, with expectations. I believe Younglife's an organization that just allows high school students to be high school kids, and I believe it's important because every kid deserves that right, and I think that's the reason that we're starting it here at Peters Township.
So how exactly are you targeting these high school kids?
Yeah, so a big reason, or a big way that we target high school students is just through friendship. We kind of, what we call is we step into the turf of the high schoolers. So I'm around here a lot. I actually have a really cool opportunity to coach for the boys basketball team this year. And it's just getting to meet kids and building a relationship with them and, letting them feel loved and welcomed.
So you mentioned the basketball team. What else are you getting involved in so far?
Yeah, so far, just basketball. I've been going to a couple of the football games, and the football team's 6-0, guys. Congratulations, that's awesome. But just getting to know kids through that. I've been at dismissal a couple of days, meeting kids, and but it's been a lot of fun, and we're excited for what's happening.
So what will be the first kickoff for Peters Township?
The first big kickoff event will be what we call Younglife's Fall Weekend for high school students.
Can you describe that for me?
Of course. So Younglife's Fall Weekend is up at Camp Conaquee, which is in Zelienople in Pennsylvania. And we invite over 400 high school students from different high schools all around the Pittsburgh area and even out towards State College area to come in for a weekend. It's a 2-night overnight trip from Friday into Sunday where kids get to be kids. They get to play a ton of fun games. They get to sing. They get to dance. And we just talk a lot about life. We talk about the different struggles I might be facing and ways to really push through that and learn skills of adversity and trust, and it's really fun. So we're really excited for that. That'll be in November.
So before the fall weekend, what activities do we have leading up to fall weekend?
Yeah, so a lot of the activities we have are smaller events right now, and they're just getting started. Like we said, it's all based off relationships. So as relationships continue to develop and grow, we'll be able to kick those off more. Right now we're starting with campaigners, which is just, a group of people coming together and talking about life just in a small group setting. And then one of our other events is what we call Club, and it's a blast. It's a ton of fun. We call it a party with a purpose. And right now, Peters Township doesn't have a club going, but we're partnering with Upper St. Clair's Younglife just to give a little bit of a vision of what it could look like in Peters Township.
So how has Upper St. Clair helped to develop the Peters Township Younglife?
Upper St. Clair's been a huge helper to us. They have been around for over 50 years now, which is really great. They actually have been so good, and they've done such a incredible job of reaching students and building relationships with them that it has actually been exposed to Peters Township area, and that's kind of why Peters Township has started. So Upper St. Clair has been really beneficial in helping us. They've been training me and Casey Orwig, one of the cross-country coaches, and she's one of the volunteer leaders, but they've been training us and assisting us in how to get this thing going and rolling, so it's been great. They've been a huge help.
Yeah. So were you involved in Young Life as a high schooler?
Yes, I got involved in Young Life as a sophomore in high school up at North Allegheny. Don't hold it against me, guys. I got involved as a sophomore, and basically my Young Life leader, his name's Dan. He just stepped into my life. He was just a friend to me. He loved me when I performed well in sports, when I didn't perform well in sports. He loved me when I did well on tests, when I didn't do well on tests. And he was just that adult in my life that treated me as a kid. You know, he showed me grace. He showed me what true friendship was. He showed me what loyalty was. He was that adult relationship, like that friend that's an adult, that kind of like a mentor even. He was just that to me, and basically because of the way he treated me, that's how I got involved. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to come to Young Life. At first, it was because of how much or how well he treated me. That was what drew me in. I was involved with Young Life all the way through high school. I wasn't involved in college. They didn't have it at my school, but now I work for Young Life, so it was a big part of my life, yeah.
So is Young Life your only job as of right now?
Yes, it is. It is my full-time job. Besides coaching basketball, I wouldn't say that that's a full-time job. I'm a volunteer coach, but that is my only position right now. So
why did you choose Peters?
Why did I choose Peters? Really, there was an opening in Peters Township, and I love Pittsburgh. I'm from Pittsburgh. I'm a big Steelers fan. Go Lurs. That was a big one last night. But I love Pittsburgh, and I know Peters Township is, even though there's a lot of differences, they are somewhat similar to North Allegheny. I think a lot of kids deal with the same things that I dealt with as a high schooler, and so it felt like it was a great fit. And it was open, and I applied, and going through the interview process, I got to sit down with some really awesome parents in the community, and they liked me and I liked them, so it was a good deal. It worked out.
Yeah. So how will other leaders be able to get involved in Young Life?
Yeah, so Young Life leaders, we have staff people, that's what I am. We also have college volunteer leaders, and college volunteer leaders get involved basically if they want to get involved. We do all sorts of training. We call it first year fellowship, and currently we have that at Slippery Rock, Geneva, the University of Pittsburgh, and Duquesne University. So at those 4 schools, we take Young Life there. We run a lot of the same events that we run here on the high school with college kids, and if they want to get involved with high school level, they can. If they want to stay involved with the college level, they can stay there. So it's totally a voluntary position. It's nothing where people are forced to do it, but it's voluntary. So
what did you study in college to lead you to this point?
Great question. So I studied interdisciplinary business with engineering studies at Penn State Behrend. That does not lead into what I'm currently doing, but I just really got involved with Young Life, and it was just something that I was really passionate about. When I think back to my high school days, I think of Dan. He was my volleyball coach in high school, and he was a voluntary coach. He basically gave his life away. He didn't get paid for it. He didn't benefit from the position. It was a thing where he just gave everything he had to support these high school friends, basically me. That was something that was really beneficial to me, and so I would just want to give back to the community, and that's kind of how I ended up here.
Yeah. So what would you say has been like the biggest impact that like Young Life has had on you?
Yeah, I think Young Life has given me a purpose, quite frankly. I think I was a little bit of a selfish person. I think we all naturally have some tendencies. But Young Life really challenged me to take a step beyond myself and realize just the full picture, maybe. And not that I understand the full picture or anything like that, but I think I've been given a purpose. I feel that I have an identity in who I am and who I was made to be, not necessarily how I perform. I think that was something that I really struggled with. if I had a good basketball game, I was living on top of the world. If I had a poor basketball game, I felt like I was worthless. So Young Life really was something that showed me my identity was not in my actions, but who I am. So.
Yeah. So how can kids get involved in Young Life?
Yeah, there's a ton of ways for kids to get involved. I think one way is to come to some of the events we have. Like I said, we have campaigners and club, and that's a way. Another way is to obviously just kind of start a relationship with myself, with Casey, with other students that are involved. We just believe that the kids deserve to have the right to what real relationship looks like and what real friendship looks like. So we're excited to hopefully come and offer that and spot us out.
So what would you say is that real relationship or that real friendship?
Yeah, I think relationship is, I think we were made for relationship, obviously. I think what makes relationship really important is that, or I think what makes it maybe more authentic is when you're in a relationship to give and not to receive. I know as a high schooler, I was looking to receive from every relationship I was in. If I wasn't benefiting from my friendship with this guy or with this friend, this teacher, whatever, I wasn't staying involved. I was totally in it for my own purposes, and I think authentic relationship is when we can lay down our life for another one, and when our friend is hurting, come alongside them and listen or help cheer them on and encourage them, and I think that's where a lot of life is found. So,
what do you think is the biggest obstacle for high school kids to overcome?
It's a tough question. I think society and culture in the high school world right now is really tough. I really do. It's hard. For me, I'm just going to say the hardest obstacle I had was trying to live up to expectations. I believe that whether it's on purpose or whether it's by accident, whether it's the way we interpret how people communicate with us, or I'm not sure, but I think we just constantly get stuck in this idea of needing to perform, really. I think if we don't get that college scholarship, we're going to let so many people down, and that can crush us, and that's just not what I don't think that's true, I would say, and but it's so easy to believe that as a high school student, and that was something that really crushed me for a couple years. So I don't know, I'm hoping to people to show high schoolers that, and that there's more truth than just that. So
all right, well, that is this segment. We will be back after a short break, and we will continue this conversation about Young Life. Welcome back. So let's just dive right back into this conversation about Young Life. So, you mentioned Fall Weekend a little bit at the beginning. Why should kids sign up for Fall Weekend?
That's awesome. Young Life often promotes this as the best weekend of your life. We actually make a guarantee where we make that promise to you that come, experience it for yourself, try to have the best weekend of your life, and if you don't, we'll give you your money back. We're so confident in it. We're so confident in the different activities that we run there that the kids are just going to have a blast, that they're going to get to experience true joy and maybe, in a new, different way than what they've previously experienced. So,
what are some of the activities that Fall Weekend entails?
Yeah. So Young Life loves the idea of surprises. They have tons of camps, and at all their camps, they don't give the schedule out to the campers because they believe in surprises, and they believe that that excitement and that the idea of not knowing is really fun. That allows the campers to be loose and be present in the moment that they're dealing with. So I'm not going to give every little activity, but a couple of the short activities, they have dance party. We do all sorts of fun games in the yard where people get really messy, and it's a time to kind of take a few steps back. And as a little kid, I remember I used to love jumping in mud puddles, playing with a big toy tractor or a toy truck, playing in the mud. That might be pushing it a little bit. It's not like lame like that, but kids get dirty. Kids, will play some football. They'll, sing and dance during like what we call the Younglife Club. So just some short activities like that,
So what is club that you mentioned? What does that?
Yeah, club. So earlier I mentioned that it's what we call a party with a purpose. Oftentimes at Younglife Camp, it's really great because that's when you bring 400 to 600 people together in one room, which is just absolutely crazy. We'll start with that. So at camp, it's you come in, you just sing songs, common songs that are on the radio, and kids go crazy for them. They're jumping up and down, singing, yelling at the top of their lungs. It's a lot of fun. We throw on skits that are actually hilarious. Some of my friends run them. They're on the program team, and those guys could really be on Saturday Night Live. They are so funny. But they'll be up front. They'll be making skits, and that just gives the opportunity for kids to literally just be consumers and watch good, clean humor. I think in today's society, like, humor is oftentimes tearing other people down, and the humor at Younglife Camps is honestly, it's making fun of ourselves a lot, and just some of the ideas that we stereotype, and so it's a lot of fun. It's really goofy, but we do that. We sing some more songs. We play a bunch of funny games. So we played a couple games. Actually, last night we played like Mathletes. That's a pretty fun game. So there are different activities like that, and at the end we normally all gather up. Kids get to sit down after 45 minutes of just craziness, and somebody gets up front and gives a little bit of a talk on life. And a lot of the times they talk about places where we're finding our worth, places where we overvalue things of the world, and it talks a lot about relationship and what authentic relationship is like, and it's really fun because it allows kids to be crazy, wild, and having the best time of their life, but then also allows them to sit down and just really hear some truth about life.
Yeah. So would you say that fall weekend is a break for high school students?
Absolutely. It's awesome. High school, especially around November when fall weekend takes place, is normally really busy. You guys are hustling like crazy, all the homework, all the tests, all the sports activities, all the other extracurriculars. You guys are just running around like crazy. So this weekend is, I wouldn't say that it's the most restful thing in terms of getting sleep, but it's a rest for the soul. I really do think that people get to leave fall weekend just feeling rested and ready to go again. So,
why do you think that fall weekend will have such an impact on the high school students that will go?
Yeah, I think everybody likes, guys, be with me here. I think guys love to hear stories about heroes, right? I think girls love stories. True or false?
That's true.
Okay, a little bit true for that. Yeah, I think one of the best things at Younglife Camp is that we kind of paint a picture of what I like to call it the most heroic story. Others people call it the greatest love story. But we just kind of paint a picture of that and get to share some truth with kids and with high school students and friends, and I think it can be life altering.
Yeah. So besides the fall weekend and the club and campaigners, are you trying to do anything else just with the community, either with parents or just the students, to really get Peters Township Younglife going?
Yeah, so I have been doing a lot of different things. obviously Young Life has its activities. I think basketball is one of the activities where I'm given the opportunity to be around kids and get to hang with them and coach them and shoot hoops and play and be competitive. I think that's really fun. As well as we talked about how I go to football games, and I've gone to a couple soccer games, and different things like that are kind of when I deal with or get the opportunity to hang with high school students. And when it comes to parents, it's totally different in the sense of they're not at high school every day, you know. So parents, oftentimes I'll see them around the community. I see them at the grocery store, getting gas, you know. That's when I mostly deal with them. Sometimes I'll sit down with them for a meal or for coffee in the morning, and just kind of get to know them. They get to know me and kind of what's going on with Young Life in the community, and that's how I've been connecting so far.
Do you think that parents have a big impact on their kids going to Young Life, or do you think it's just the high school kids?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I don't think I know the full answer to it either. I think parents are super impactful. I mean, they've raised every student there, you know. So I think what they have to say it carries a lot of weight. So I think if they're supporters of Young Life, that's very beneficial for Young Life. I do think there's a big benefit in high schoolers inviting high schoolers. There's something about, you know, saying, hey, I've been to this event and I loved it. I had a ton of fun. I really want you to come and experience the joy with me. I think there's a lot of weight to that, though. So, you know, I think high schoolers do have a lot of say amongst themselves, and yeah. So I think both carry a lot of weight. Yeah.
So you said like high schoolers, it's like a big impact when other people invite their friends. So how has Upper St. Clair like shown that so much?
Yeah, Upper St. Clair is a great example, and definitely something that we're going for. You know, we want to do what they do really well. And one of the strengths of Young Life in Upper St. Clair is that their senior students, when we have club or campaigners going on during the evenings, their senior students will drive to freshman students' houses, pick up the freshmen, take them to the event, have a blast, hang with the students, really interact, you know, get to know these freshmen on more than just a name basis. Kind of really start building those authentic relationships, and then get to take them out for food after, or take them home. And that is really beneficial, because I think when you're a senior, when you're a junior in your high school, you guys are the big guys. You know, you guys are the ones that run the school. You guys know what's going on. The freshmen and sophomores that are stepping into high school are maybe a little scared. You know, it's an exciting, challenging new time where they really don't know what to expect. So I think when a senior steps out of their own shoes and loves on a younger high schooler, I think that's really wild, and I think that is something that really goes a long way.
Do you think that the seniors and juniors are doing that here at Peters?
Yeah, I think so. It's hard to say. Like we've just started, and I've been really bad at communicating when events are. I'll be honest. I'll confess. But I think they've done a good job, and I'm really excited to continue to push that and continue to hope for that. So.
Yeah. So other than just the high school student aspect, will Peters be targeting the middle school students at all?
Yeah, so that's not in our plan for this year. In the coming future, though, we definitely want to reach middle schoolers, and that's what we call our wildlife. And wildlife, because middle schoolers are absolutely wild. They're crazy. They're a ton of fun, and we do a ton of the same or similar events that we do with the high school students. Our games and activities might be a little bit less controlled, a little bit more free for the middle schoolers to just, you know, really have a blast. But that's definitely in the plan, and we're excited to really get started and reach more kids.
What games will we be playing as high school students that maybe the middle schoolers aren't ready, or maybe they are? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think any of the games are age specific. I think sometimes with the games that you play with high schoolers, they are less active games, maybe we'll say, and but middle schoolers, you can just throw out a football and say, play rugby or something, and they're gonna get all sweaty and dirty, and they don't care. High schoolers tend to want to stay a little bit cleaner, So that's kind of where the activities change and are different. But for the most part, any of the games, they kind of can work for really any age group, even adults.
Yeah. So just last question here. What do you think the overall impact is going to be on the community of Younglife?
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. I think the impact could be huge. I think it could be really monumental. I think every kid is chasing the idea of being known and loved for who they are, and I think that those are things that Younglife offers, maybe, and I think that that's something that we can bring to the table, and I think that in bringing that to the table, I think high schoolers can really begin to understand their identity and really know who they are, and when people know their identity, there's some power to that, and I think knowing your worth isn't in necessarily how cool you are or how you perform, and that just really frees you up to look beyond yourself. And I think the high schoolers that do get involved can kind of do a similar thing that I do, and really just look after others. And I think that it starts. You can't build a castle in a day. It's a brick by brick thing, and so I think that's how the process is going to be. But I really do think that we can see a changed community, high schoolers down to middle schoolers, and we're really excited for it.
Yes. Well, thank you for being here today, and thank you for joining me today on this episode of The Edge. I hope you have a great day.